Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the 9.8 podcast. I'm your host, Jacob Langworthy. This week we have a very special guest. Her name's Hannah Linzay. She is a top level competitor in Highland Games and strongman. She has lifted the Husafell stone and walked it around the pen. The first woman to have ever done that. She's lifted the Denny stones without straps. One of like just a few people to have done that. Women to have done that. Just an all around again addict of strength. We have a fun talk about her sporting background, getting into strongman, getting into Highland Games, what she plans to do in the future, some more kooky strength sports that she wants to try out. But yeah, welcome to the show. Here's Hannah Linzay. So, welcome to the show. I guess starting off with like every new guest, like I want to hear a little bit about your sporting background. Like, what did you do growing up?
Oh, geez. From the start, I had a brother. He was very much into football. It was just me and him growing up. We lived in a farming community, so there was no neighborhood kids. So I played football with him in the yard and kind of helped train him, I guess. And then, I remember, putting on a pair of pads and helmet and just, letting him try to run me over type of stuff. From there, at 7, started playing soccer. Played soccer all the way through to college, was a goalkeeper, went to school on scholarship. That ended with a torn right labrum 2 years back-to-back, so I had to forfeit the rest of my eligibility. Also, during high school, I played basketball, and I played softball a year, and I threw the javelin a year. I was better at basketball and soccer, but then my freshman year, I kind of had to decide which one I wanted to pursue to try to go to college in. And just as far as, statistics, I'm not over 6 foot. I could not shoot a three-point to save my life. I was more of a post person. Way better defensively than offensively, so chances were I was going to have a better shot at soccer to get a scholarship than basketball. Not saying that if I wouldn't have put all my eggs in one basket, I couldn't have played somewhere in college playing basketball, but I just liked soccer better. I was better at goalkeeper than I was at a post player, so I just decided to pursue that. In high school, I played on the high school team. I played on the state travel team for Olympic Development Program. I played Premier League out of Baton Rouge, and then I also played on this other team that traveled all over the Southeast. And that just went to college showcases, and basically it was a roster of 50 girls, and every weekend the coach would send out a roster and to a showcase and be like, hey, who can come? And he would pick 20 girls out of whoever could come, and we would just guest play. So there was no practice or anything. You just kind of showed up and just played and did that. So I did that. I was traveling when I played in the Baton Rouge League. I was traveling 2 hours one way just to practice. Summer was the Olympic Development Program. That's all I did was play soccer all summer. So literally from season to season, the biggest break I had for 4 years was 2 weeks at a time. So that was my whole high school career was just soccer, 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 and then my senior year, I actually got to play soccer and basketball at the same time, like I did my freshman year. And it was to the point because those seasons override in Louisiana. Okay. So I didn't practice at all. I just played games. So, soccer games were on Mondays and Thursdays, and basketball was on Tuesdays and Fridays. So I would play games Monday, Tuesday, then I'd go to practice but sit and watch Wednesday, then play games Thursday, Friday. And if there were tournaments on the weekend, I played tournaments, so it worked out well. It was fun. I didn't have to practice, I just played, so that was cool. So played all the things, and then got a scholarship, got to soccer in college, and then that was a really short-lived ride.
Where'd you go to college at?
I started off at LSU, and then I transferred to ULM, and then I blew my hip out at the end of my freshman year, then the end of my sophomore year. So my last 2 years, I just was on a medical red shirt and just had to show up and still, hang out so I could get my scholarship, but I wasn't playing, so that was really boring. But whatever. Yeah, but so I did all that, and then also just my brother played. We went to the same high school, so So he played football, and I was like the water girl because I had to ride with him to school and everything. So I had to stay late for football practice. So they would let me scrimmage with them sometimes and play. So they wanted me to play on the team, but my dad said no. So
Oh, Dad said no.
Dad said not no, but hell no. Yeah.
I mean, that's a smart move, I think.
Well, he was more so from the fact of like, because I wasn't this big in high school. Like in high school, I graduated at 5'10", like 170, 75 pounds.
Hmm.
But he was like, you're going to have some guys that it's going to be a lose-lose because if you like, whether I play receiver or linebacker or whatever position, he's like, if you beat a guy, then they're going to get dogged or they're going to be like, I'm not going to get beat by a girl, so they're just going to pancake you. So he was like, I'm not trying to get you hurt. So then I was like, well, then can I kick? And then Dad was like, no. So the coach wasn't very happy, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's life.
Yeah. I mean, so you've been aggressively into sports since jump. That's cool.
Yeah. Like I remember, and it was funny because like I grew up real rural, like third generation sugarcane farm. We went to school in town, which is like 30 minutes away. And I remember I was in third grade, and this one of my friends was named Emily Silver, or no, Switzer, excuse me. And
Shout out.
yeah, she doesn't even follow me probably, but I thought we were playing kickball. Like I didn't even know it was soccer. I just thought it was kickball. And then like she was like, "You should play on my dad's team. He coaches." And I was like, "A kickball team? Like what is
The
this?"
kickball team.
And he's like, "No, this is soccer." And I was like, "What's that?" So I go home and ask mom and dad, like, "Can I play on the soccer team?" And they're like, "No, like we're not driving the town twice a week, like to pick
Yeah.
you up from school. No, we're not doing that." So I begged and begged and begged, and then finally they let me play the spring season, but I only got to practice once a week because they're like, we're not going to town twice. And then I was there playing, and then I was on the field, and then he was like, hey, we need a goalkeeper who wants to play, who's not scared of the ball. Of course, I'm not scared of anything, so I was like, I'll do it. And I kind of hopped in net, and that's pretty much all she wrote. Like, I stayed there my whole college career, really enjoyed it. There was a lot of adrenaline and high seat action and stuff because I also always happened to be on a really crappy team, so I always got a ton of action. So I really enjoyed that part of it, except for like we didn't win a lot because we couldn't do anything. But
Right.
like my senior year of high school, I had the most goals as a goalkeeper and had 10 in the season because I took every free kick all the way to the other 18-yard box.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was soccer big in the South at that time, or did it just kind of pop up for you?
No, it was like real like preliminary. So like town for us was Alexandria, and just to put it in like layman terms, I guess. So you have like U16, U17, U18 teams. So if you're underneath that age, that's like the team you played on.
Hmm.
Well, it was so new to the area that I was like 13 playing on a U18 team. So I was playing 17 and 18-year-old girls at like 12 and 13.
Yeah.
So the coach
Just a
was
one
like,
room schoolhouse down there.
yeah, pretty much. So my coach, like Kevin, was like, you're obviously better than what you're at right now. You need to go to Lafayette. So like we played rec league in Alexandria. So then you had rec league, then you had this thing called like D1, and then you had Premier. And Premier was like top tier. That's what got you into school.
Hmm.
So my parents were like, well, I'm not going to drive you to Baton Rouge. Like, you're going to go to Lafayette. We'll drive 1 hour, and you can practice once a week and then go to games. So I played on a D1 team 1 year, and that was like, I guess I was 14 then. And then that coach was like, look, you need to bring her to Baton Rouge. So when I was 15, I tried out for the team in Baton Rouge, made the team, and then my mom told the coach, like, hey, we can't bring her 2 hours one way twice a week. So she can play, but she can only come once a week, which the coach was fine with that. So while I was 15, mom drove me down to Baton Rouge a couple times. Then I finally got my license, and she drove with me one time, or rode with me while I drove. And she was like, yeah, you're good, so you just go. So I would leave school. My Spanish teacher would let me leave like 15 minutes early. I would drive straight to Baton Rouge, was changing at red lights basically and putting on cleats and stuff. And then I would pull up to practice, and they're already like running around the field, and I'd have to hurry up, get out, go run, catch up with them, and we'd train for a couple hours, and then I'd get home at like 10:30, And then I didn't care about school at that time because I was like, I'm just trying to get a scholarship. So I would just, go home, crash out, and go to bed and wake up and go back to school. And then on weekends, I would just travel. I would just meet with my fam. Like I had like a family in like Lafayette. We played together for years. So I just met up with them, and I'd stay at their hotels, and we just kind of, it was me and Courtney and Alex. And we always were just on that team, and I just always stayed with them. And then we also did that travel team and also the ODP team. So we just, for like the last 3 years of my like high school career, we were on the same teams besides high school. So I just kind of ran with them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, growing up, like, I don't remember anyone playing soccer until I got to like maybe middle school or high school.
Hmm.
And like even in California, when I lived out there, like kids, very few kids had like a soccer team. For like the town that I lived in, the city that I lived in, they had a rec league, and like all the boys would play football, baseball, and basketball, and like they just do those three like
Yeah.
during the school year. And but we never had soccer, and I
Oh.
didn't know anyone that played.
Yeah, it
Um,
was real. It was like still new.
yeah.
Um, but like now it's huge. Like for example, like in Alexandria now they have premier teams. It's blown up since.
Hmm.
It's just it was still new at the time. I mean, because that was late '90s.
Yeah.
Um, when I was in high school, that was early 2000s. So it just wasn't like big and popular yet. No one really knew what it was. I mean, my parents watched me play all the way through college, and they still didn't know like anything about soccer. They just knew if I got scored on, I messed up, and if I didn't get scored on, I did good. I could be like, Mom, like Dad, that was like a one-on-one situation. Like, I'm not supposed to save it, whatever. And Dad's like, yeah, but you still got scored on. Like, you suck. And I'm like, yeah,
Yes.
thanks, Dad.
I just started watching Premier League
Yeah,
soccer, and just because like trying to look for something to put on, and like I don't know, you see soccer, you're like, let's just see what it's all about.
yeah,
Next thing you know, you're watching soccer for like 3 hours. A new
yes,
game has already come up, and
yeah,
you're just watching it.
hmm,
I know nothing about it. Don't know the players. Don't know the
yeah,
teams. I'm an Arsenal fan now.
yeah,
If anyone's wondering,
yeah,
because I like their logo. It's got
yeah,
a cannon on it. That's
yeah,
sick.
hmm,
But yeah, I'm watching it. I'm watching a ton of it and learning it.
yeah.
I Out of boredom, I guess.
Well, do you know that they're having the World Cup in North America this summer?
I am aware of this. Yeah,
Okay, well, go to a game.
that's actually a good idea. I never thought of it. Yeah,
Yeah, me and Thomas are going to a game in Atlanta. It's a real long story, but unfortunately, we're having to watch Uzbekistan and somebody else. But whatever, it'll still be fun.
yeah,
And then in 2 years, the women will be here, and I'll plan to have a better plan, and then watch a better team. But
yeah.
it was just a big debacle. I've never bought like pro sports tickets, and then the way the World Cup was, they draw the teams, and like I accidentally saw like a projected group stage, not the official group stage. So I bought tickets
Hmm.
based off of the projected group stage, which was not the group stage I thought I was going to get. And then they seeded it, then it became different. And then, long story short, I'm going to be watching two teams I probably could care two less about, but it'll still be really cool, and it'll be a cool experience. And I mean, it'll be still fun. Rather watch somebody else. I was really trying to watch the group that I thought I was buying tickets for was like two of them were Italy and was it Portugal? I think it was. But see,
Hmm.
this year they also expanded the group play because it used to be just like a group stage of like I think it was like 32, and now it's like it's like 64 teams now. So it's expanded a lot. So now you have a lot of teams that have never been to the World Cup before. So it's a lot more like lower level teams because they used to always have this like group that was called the Group of Death because it was such a small, like countries that would make it. So like you'd always have one group that was just like kind of like World's Strongest Man. They'd call it Group of Death, and it was
Hmm.
like four bad teams and like or not bad but like badass teams, and it was always just wild. But like they don't really have a Group of Death this year because there's just too many teams. So the way they broke them up is just it'll be interesting. But I mean, we'll be there watching Uzbekistan. Then I think there's some games in May, and it's like who is it like? Is it like Costa Rica and then like Republic of Congo or something? So the winner out of those, I mean, it'll be still cool and like the atmosphere will be still cool, but it won't be like watching, Italy or Portugal or Spain or Scotland. Like now, Scotland is playing up in Boston in the same weekend as home games, and I
Yeah.
just checked the tickets just because I was like, I might just buy some tickets, and no, they're like $1,500 a pop.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not paying that.
Not for me, not for soccer.
Yeah, like I'm not paying $1,500, and that's just group play. Like that's not even like the round of 16 or quarterfinals or semifinals or finals. Like that's just group play.
Yeah, I just looked, and I think they're playing in Kansas City, which is close for me. And
Mm.
I got to figure out how to buy tickets and who would actually be playing.
Yeah,
I don't
and
know.
that, but also like even if you don't go to a game, if you go to like a surrounding like the city and go into the local pubs, they'll have
Mhm.
it on, and there'll be a ton of people there, and it'll still be really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I might do that.
yeah,
It's something to do.
yeah. It's something to do, but I'm real pumped about it. I mean, like whenever I've always really been big into the World Cup, especially just because it's games on all day long. Like so, it's like well, I mean now it'll be times where I'm awake, so. But like used to, like when I was working night shift, I could just watch games on my phone because they're playing over in England and stuff. So like it might be overnight for here, but it'd be playing. So I'm really excited about that. And then when 2 years, the women will be here, which I'm pumped about because I think the women are more interesting to play than the men because the men just fall down when you blow on them and hold their ankle and cry.
See, okay, this is like growing up. Once we all learned about soccer, that was always the thing. 'Cause we all played football,
Yeah.
and like it's different.
Oh yeah, it's
And
100% different.
and so like the I don't know what they call it in soccer, but like it's flopping, right?
Oh yeah,
You just yeah.
absolutely. They flop big time.
I think it's just part of the game. Like that's
Yeah,
just it's built into like how the game is played, and so
yeah.
like you can't
It's
say,
gotten worse.
yeah, it's.
Yeah, it's gotten worse.
And I did, but I tell myself just so I just think I'm not watching a bunch of sissies kicking a ball.
They are though. I mean, they
So, well,
are.
I try to equate it to like Tour de France riders, right? When those
Yeah,
guys are on their bikes and they took a little spill, like, dude, I've fallen on my bike 100,000 times.
yeah,
I'm scarred up from head to toe from
yeah.
bike crashes. I get up and ride away. Like they like limp away
Play
and
a
like
bit.
roll. But I'm
Yeah,
like, they're fragile little people.
yeah,
Like they're exhausted and they
yeah,
just got the shit knocked out of them.
yeah,
And so I just think like if you're running for 2 hours straight and like someone clips your ankle, like I might lay down a little bit.
yeah. I mean, and it's funny because like the guys do flop a whole lot more than the women. Like I've seen women get just railed, and they'll just get up and just take off, and like the guys, you basically blow on them and they'll fall down and like hold their ankle. Then like the medical team will come out there with like the cold spray and they'll like spray them real quick, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm good." But it's just different. The guys have always like historically been pansies compared to the women, I guess.
Yeah. The ones that I don't like is when like they make a big deal of it, slow the game down for whatever reason they're trying to accomplish.
Oh
Like
yeah,
the medical team doesn't even get to them,
yeah,
and they're already like, oh, I'm up, and they just take off running. I'm like,
yeah,
okay, you were faking it. Come on.
yeah. I mean, and there's a lot of like strategy involved too, like especially if you're trying to like waste the clock, because that's the thing. Like people don't realize, basketball if there's an injury or football if there's an injury, the clock stops.
Mm,
Soccer, the clock does not stop. So they have this thing called like injury time or whatever it's called. And so like you might play 90 minutes, and then depending on how long people have wasted, the ref was like, oh, that's 7 minutes. So then the clock will go for 7 minutes, and they play 97 minutes. So I mean, it just depends, and a lot of that is strategy if they're ahead and stuff like that. But it's just you can do other things to like buy time. Like you can like if you've watched it enough, if you're ahead and you're trying to build time off the clock, you can just drive straight to the corner and just hang out in the corner until somebody comes and kicks it out of bounds. And then same thing with the goalkeeper. I used to burn time like that all the time. I'd get a ball passed back to me, then I'll just let it sit at my
yeah.
feet. I'd kind of just dribble around a little bit, make one of the forwards come all the way to me, and I was just like, and grab the ball up. Just typical
Yeah.
games.
This is like one of the funner parts about watching it and not knowing anything about it. Like I see them like high intensity, it's bounce around, and then it just stops. Like everything just really slows down. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
know what they're doing, and
Hmm.
like I'm trying to like make up like reasons like why it's happening,
Yeah.
and like I'm probably wrong.
Yeah, Thomas doesn't really like watching it on like TV, but he does like watching the highlights because he's like, yeah, all the boring stuff's gone. All you see is just shot, 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 shot. So, like he told me, he's like, I'm not gonna know what's gonna happen at that game. He's like, but I'll go drink beer. So,
Yeah. Watching it on TV, the best like 10 minutes of the game is like after it's over and they're
Yeah.
just like talking about it.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, I just watched all that and I get to see it like better
Yeah.
and again.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be really cool. I'm pumped about it.
Hell yeah. How do you go from soccer into strength sports?
Ooh. So when I was in high school, we were not allowed to work out because it was the boys' weight room.
Hmm.
Um, I'd always been told I was like, like wrestling with guys and stuff, like with my brother. I've always been told like, oh, you're strong for a girl type of stuff. When I got to college, that's when I first got to lift weights, and the way that was like, rack one was like your strongest team, like strongest rack of the team, and then rack two was the second strongest. So like obviously as competitive as I am, I always wanted to get to rack one on all the lifts.
Yeah.
So, and then stuff like people don't realize like you can strength train for soccer, but it's more like muscular endurance and like rehab type stuff. So like obviously with soccer, you have a lot of ACLs that blow with women. So a lot of that was trying to like balance out, your abductors, that kind of thing. So like we never really lifted heavy, but like it was more like, high rep stuff. But I was always just competitive by nature, so I wanted to get to rack one. Um, Off season we were lifting heavier, like bench, squat, deadlift, that kind of stuff. After I blew my hip out the second time and I had to medically redshirt, I still like to train, and I did. I have my degrees in kinesiology, exercise science. Like I could have went to PT school, but I didn't want to do that. So for my like degree, you had to have an internship. So I interned at our strength and conditioning facility at the school, and just lived and breathed in there. And I just liked training because I liked it. It was fun. It was a challenge. I like to be stronger than people. I just thought that was cool.
It is pretty
And
cool.
yeah, I mean, it's
It's
just I
the best.
really enjoyed that. And then so I got out of school. I graduated. Started working at a gym. Still trained. Did more like the stuff that I was used to, but then started doing like my own research and reading and stuff. And then kind of got more into like a strength program. And then one of my friends was like, "Why don't you do powerlifting?" And I was like, "I thought powerlifting was just in high school." And they're like, "No, dude, like they have powerlifting like up to like people in their 70s." And I'm like, "What?"
Was your powerlifting in high school? Was that like? Did they have the clean in there as well?
So no. So whenever I was in high school, my school did not have powerlifting team. A neighboring
Oh,
high school, yeah, in high school it's geared. They didn't have raw till like recently. So a neighboring high school that I wanted to go to, but I couldn't because of the whole zoning thing. Ash had a powerlifting team, and I was jealous because I wanted to do that, but of course I didn't go there. But anyway, so I like linked up with some people and found some meets and did it for like a year and a half. I did 3 meets. It was like USAPL because that's all I knew that existed at the time, which now is
yeah.
lame. But uh, did that. Did like the state powerlifting meet. I think I got like third, and it just wasn't like fun. Like I enjoyed the training aspect, but it was just boring. Like the judging was very inconsistent. Like the meets were lame. They took forever. Like I just didn't like it. And it just wasn't fun, and it didn't like give me that like adrenaline stuff. And it wasn't for me. So I just stopped.
Yeah.
Still trained, did my own thing. Like and I had a powerlifting coach and everything. Like because if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it all the way. Then my manager at the time was into bodybuilding. He was like, well, "Why don't you just train with us?" So I trained with them and did like the bodybuilding thing. And he's like, "Why don't you do a figure show?" And I was like, "I don't even know like what that's about." So he's like, "Just do it." So I was like, "Whatever." I was bored. So I did a figure show, did a whole prep for like 20 weeks. Awful. We'll never do it again. Um, did the show. Looked great 2 weeks out. Looked great 3 days out. He water loaded me, messed my peak up. As Thomas called it, I looked like a glazed donut on stage.
Oh no.
Um, I got third in the open, which if I'd have looked like I did, 2 weeks out, or even like 3 or 4 days out, like I'd have just crushed everyone. But you live, you learn, and at that
Yeah.
point, there's nothing you can do.
That's just the thing about like bodybuilding that I
Mhm,
just don't understand
mhm,
is like to get like the on stage look like requires like such like
yeah,
little details that you
mhm,
just don't think about and you can
yeah.
fuck it up
Oh yeah,
real quick.
yeah. I mean, and I knew like whenever he wanted to water load me, like I questioned it. I was like, I don't think like I had enough knowledge about stuff, but not enough knowledge about bodybuilding. And I was like, I think this is way too much water. Like I don't think I'm going to shed it. Like I don't like the way you're going to manipulate my carbs. Like I don't think this is going to work. And he's like, oh yeah, it's going to work. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, I don't think it is. And like as I'm getting down there, like I'm water loading, and I'm like, I can see my body is just like hanging on to it. And I'm like, this, I don't think so. And he's like, just trust the process. Well, then like I get there the night before the show, and like he's like, I need progress pics, and I just looked waterlogged. And I sent him pictures, and he's like, oh, okay, you're gonna take this like Lasix diuretic, which is also bad. And then it did not pull the water off of me like it was supposed to. But then again, like everyone says, your first prep is like a shot in the dark. You don't know how your body responds to things, whatever. So it was just very frustrating that like I spent so much time being so diligent for 20 weeks, and then you get to the show and it's ruined, and then you're on stage and there's nothing you can do, and there was no like adrenaline, like you can't like pose harder next to the girl to like get points, like you know what I mean? So it just
Yeah.
wasn't like fulfilling, I guess, and it just wasn't exciting. Like I just didn't care for it, and I much rather be like strong and lean thick, that I call it, versus being shredded and like not strong.
Hmm.
So I was like, okay, cool, did it, checked it off, I'm done. So then I still did bodybuilding type training, and then a girl that I met from powerlifting's boyfriend did strongman, and I saw he posted like a girl doing strongman, and I was like, whoa. So I like messaged him and I'm like, hey, what is this about? And he's like, yeah, they have women classes. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, because like I grew up watching World's Strongest Man with my dad and my brother all the time.
Hell yeah. It's the
And
best.
oh,
Yeah.
dude, I was like, where are these shows, you know? And he's like, oh, dude, they're all over. And I'm like, what? And I was like, well, do you coach? He's like, I do, but I don't have any openings, but I have like other people I could recommend you. So I found a coach. His name was Mike Westerling. And I had just like every day on my birthday, I always like maxed squat, bench, and deadlifts just to keep track of strength. So I reached out to this coach and I was like, hey, like I found this show in Alabama. Um, you know, these are the events. It's in August. I just did the big three. These are my numbers. Is this something I could do? And I was like, and also like when I say that, I mean to be competitive, because I don't like to lose. And I was like, if I need to take a year off and train, I can do that. And he's like, no, like you will be fine. And I was like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah. So we prepped from like June to August. I went down to Alabama Strongest Man. I won. Then I went to nationals, and I think I got like ninth. Qualified for the Arnold, got second. I lost. I re-grabbed a stone, and I lost by like 0.14 seconds. I lost my pro card at my third show, so that was really annoying. Then kind of just went from there. I stayed in middleweights 2 years, and then I transitioned to open, and then been rocking and rolling with that ever since.
Is the sport is strong man, but you are strong woman, right?
Yeah, I tell people like I don't like, because if you tell people like, oh, like I do strong woman, they're like, what is that? So I'm just like, I compete in strong man, but they have classes for women, so that's called strong woman.
Yeah.
But that,
It's
no,
it's
like some
it's
people get real hung up on that, and I don't. Like the sport is strong man. I'm sorry, like
I
that's just
see. I've been calling it strongman, but
yeah,
like even like referencing like you and like other women, I'm like, I I'm pretty sure it's right. I don't
yeah.
know.
Now there's some people that'll like argue to your blue in the face, but I don't. The sport is strong man, and there's strong women classes.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. There's never been like a declaration of like this is how this is supposed to be, but in my eyes, that's what I say, because you know, like if you tell people like I compete in strongman, like how it was like, you know, the metric strong world strongest man on TV with the Atlas stones and pulling all the stuff, people, general public, know what that is.
Yeah.
But if you tell
They,
people I do strong woman, they're like, what? And I'm like,
yeah.
never
I
mind.
don't know what that is.
Yeah,
Yeah. It I don't know. In like my mind, it conjures up something similar, but just kind of completely different.
yeah.
But yeah. Okay. So strongman. Perfect. Oh fuck! I had a follow up question to that.
How did I get into Highland Games? How did I get into stone lifting? How did I get to all the other things?
I don't know. We're building into all that. Gosh damn it! My brain has been fucking cooked. I had it's deer season this week, and so
Yeah,
I've been hunting. I've been hunting a lot, up early, and like to bed late as I do.
yeah.
And then I got sick like Thursday and just missed a day of my life. And so like I'm on the rebound of that. So that's fun.
Yeah.
But oh, that's what it was. A pro card. How in strongman does one get a pro card? Because there's a lot of like, I heard people talk about it, and no one seems really consistent, and it kind of just seems like you go to the right show and win it. Is that
Okay.
it?
So it changes all the time. So back whenever I was an amateur, so you have two leagues. Well, at the time that I was competing as an amateur, you had two leagues. You had USS and you had Strongman Corp. The way it was kind of always portrayed to me is like if you ever wanted to get to the Arnold, you had to go Strongman Corp because USS did not have a bid to the Arnold Pro or the Arnold Amateur, whatever. So the way it was nationals, top three, you'd get a pro card, or if you won Arnold Amateur, you get a pro card. Back in 2016, if you made top four at Arnold Amateur, you got a pro card. When I was there in 2017, or no, it was 2017 was four, 2018 was the first year it moved from four to one because they were trying to grow the pro class. Well, then it was funny because like I'm sitting there, I made the pro stage or no, not the pro stage, but top four, which was finals, and everyone was pissed whenever they announced like only the winner got a pro card. And I'm like, why is everybody so mad? And they're like, last year if you made top four, you got a pro card. I'm like, oh well, hell, like then I got pissed with them because I didn't know any better. So back when I was an amateur, that was the only way to get one that way. Now USS I think had their route of pros, but I've never done USS, so I'm not really keen on their process. But then also within Strongman Core, they had these things called Plat Plus shows. And the Plat Plus shows were like pro-ams. And you had to have like a certain amount of pros compete to be able to qualify that if you beat X amount of pros, then you could get your pro card. But if it didn't meet the minimum requirements of X amount of pros, and if you didn't beat X amount of pros, then you weren't get your pro card. And I don't remember what those stats were. Since then, it's changed. Like I've seen pro cards given that there were no pros there and the winner got a pro card, and I'm like, that's not right because no one was there. You didn't beat anybody. Like, it just, in my mind, if you're going to get a pro card, you need to be beating pros at a pro-am to get your card. Like, other people have opinions about that. Like, it's one thing, like, if the Arnold Amateur and you're the best amateur at the Arnold, like, then yeah, you get a pro card. But like, at these smaller shows, like there was a show I think this year, and I think there was 4 women, and like the winner got a pro card and not one pro was there. So I'm like, there needs to be more parameters and stipulations, but
Yeah.
it's always changing. And then like OSG, they don't have pro cards. Clash, they don't have pro cards. So it's always changing really. But for the women, in order to get to like the pro stage, as Arnold, if you win the Arnold Amateur as a heavy, you get a direct invite to the Arnold Pro the next year. And then as far as like the invitational and stuff, they look at, I think they look at OSG. I think they look at the Arnold Amateur winners, and just it's not just about like, people forget, they think it's all about just your strength, but it's the whole package. It's do you have an audience? Do you have draw? Do you have a personality? Do you draw people to the seats? Like, it's more than just like going out there and lifting things. That's important, and you have to be strong. But like, it's like, I kind of tell people it's kind of like the WWE. You have to like bring more to the table than just going out there than doing the lift. Because like I haven't won a show in my whole pro career, but I get invites based on the fact that I'm always top 5, and also like people like to come watch me, and I work the crowd really well, and they like that, and they see value in that because I rile up the crowd, and it's just you can see it. So
Yeah. So once someone gets a pro card, that just gives them access to like different shows that they wouldn't normally go to.
Yeah, so like you have a pro card and you can compete in like America's Strongest Man or America's Strongest Woman, so that's a pro show. Other than that doesn't give you access to really much. The Shaw doesn't have pro cards. It doesn't matter if you're a pro or amateur. Same thing, like I said, OSG, Clash. But I mean, just because you have a pro card does not mean you're going to go to the Arnold Pro, does not mean you're going to go to the Rogue Invitational. You still have to do the things and work up the ranks and kind of put your name on a map. So,
Yeah, definitely. So you start strongman, and that like naturally goes into stone lifting because that was the next
yeah.
thing.
Let's see. I'd have to ask Thomas. He probably knows more than me.
Ask him.
Well, he's in the other room.
Oh, okay.
I want to yell. Uh, I mean, obviously, like I was really good at Atlas stones. I'm still really good at Atlas stones.
Mm-hmm.
I've had some natural like stone presses in contests before, block press things like that, and I'm pretty good at technical things like that because I can figure things out because it's not just brute strength. You have to, every rock is different. The way you pick it up, like you could pick up a 260 rock one way and it feels like 300 pounds, or you could pick up another way and it feels like 230 pounds. So I always just really enjoyed that, and then there was the Stones of Strength at Fafor, and my friends and Leifa and them all did it. And I wanted to go, so I flew out to California. 2018 I think it was. Competed with her, won that show, got my direct invite to the Stones of Strength in Fafor. Went over there, I won the World Championships, really enjoyed it. I just like it. And then, I've always been like looking into things and like got real tied up in the history of all the stone lifting in Scotland and Iceland and things like that. And it's always just really like obscure to me because like my thing is it's way cooler to me to like go out in a field where there's no one there and pick up the stone that all these people before you have picked up, and there's no one there to watch you, so it's just kind of like you and the stone.
Yeah.
And it's just different. Like that to me is like, and it's fun because it's me and Thomas, and we both enjoy that. But I really just took a liking to that, and I thought it was really cool. And there's a lot of things that I've wanted to do in that, and and that's the thing. Else is like you can get a 260 Atlas stone at every strongman gym across the nation, but unless you actually go to Scotland, you're not going to be able to pick up the Denny's, or you're not going to be able to pick up the Fianna. Unless you go to Iceland, you're never going to pick up the Husaful. So it's like real like obscure and like small town community and like really niche. And I think that's just really cool, and I like all the history that's tied into it too. Because if you like if you talk to people at work, they don't know what I'm talking about. They're just like, yeah, you're going over there to pick up rocks. And I'm like,
Yeah.
it's more than that.
It's more than that. It's so
Yeah.
much more.
Yeah, it's like so much more than that. Then like you tell them some of the stories, and they're like, oh, that's actually really cool. And I'm like, yeah. So like I've been picking up the same stone that like people have been picking up. So like the Fianna's been picked up since like the early like recorded data is like 900s.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like that many people have picked it up, and it's just cool because it just ties you back to history and stuff that's been done for hundreds of years or like 1,000 years, and it's just cool. Like I just really enjoy it. I think it's neat, and like the stone lifting community is really cool, and I've met a bunch of cool people, and I like to travel, and that just is kind of fun to me. And I've always wanted to do stuff that nobody else does, so that kind of just fell hand in hand there.
Yeah. So now you have just a garden of stones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We probably have like 20 or 30 somewhere in there.
Yeah. You could do with a couple more.
Yeah, I mean, and it's funny because we pick them like we saw this one stone for like months, and it was like kind of by work, and it was like put on this like concrete thing, and we watched it for months, and it never moved. And Thomas was like, I really want that stone, and I was like, well, let's just go get it. And he's just like, no. And we drove by it several more times, and he's like, I really want that stone. And I'm like, then let's go. And so he turned the truck around. 1,000% like too heavy of a stone, but we picked it up, got in the back of the truck, took off. Like
Oh, yeah.
it was just like in this like open field, like whatever. I mean, we've pulled stones out of ditches, we've
Yeah.
pulled stones out of like a dump yard, like
All stones are free stones.
Yeah.
I'm a believer of this. If it's outside, it's yours.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's not anybody's yard. It wasn't on anybody's like I mean, it's probably someone's property, but I mean, obviously they didn't want it because it was there for like months and it never moved.
Yeah.
Because they obviously put it up there so they could cut the grass around it and didn't know what to do with it. And then me and Thomas, like we went to pick it up, and I told Thomas, I was like, I got one good lift, like that's it. So we just lifted it up through the back of the truck, and I mean, in one of them we got, it's real long, it's real tall, it's skinny, it's kind of like, I forget the name of the one in Iceland, Langhorse stone or something, but it's this one's like,
I
Thomas,
think
how big is that stone?
Legstein, Legstein, like
Yeah, that one. The,
yeah,
the tall one, ours, it's like 454.
it's a big stone.
Yeah, so you just have to like pick it up and you just like hug it halfway.
Yeah,
So I mean, it's cool. Like we have a lot of cool stuff in our yard. Like I have some they're as small as like a 75 like press block warm up stone all the way to God. There's some out there that are 400 something pounds.
nice.
Hmm.
I have yet to get my own house stone. I need to. I need to make it a priority and rustle one up, but I have none.
Yeah, the problem is like there's some limestones that I have, but they're like they break, and then
Hmm.
there's some that are here that are shell, they break. They're also pokey. The river stones are the best, but then it's like trying to figure out how to get that stone out of the river, up the bank, into the truck.
Yeah,
Um, like some we got, he wants to drill and put handles in them. They're incredibly too large. We bought like a, I don't even know what you call it. It's all like interwoven fabric, and we had to like lift it in and then attach it. Then we put it to the truck and like pulled it out and now drag
yeah,
it up on a trailer. I mean, it's just whatever. I mean, we didn't realize how big they were till we got them on the trailer, and then we were like, "What are we gonna do with these? Like, these are incredibly too large." But they
yeah.
match up perfect. Like, they would be the perfect Denny replicas. They're way heavier than the Denny's, but they match up perfectly. But they're incredibly too large.
Yeah,
But
they're
whatever.
yours now. You have
Yeah,
them, so
yeah. I
nice.
mean, our yard guy probably hates us because he just like has to mow around all those stones.
Just doing circles around them.
Yeah, like at one point he just kind of just like we had one guy that would kind of like get on his little lawnmower and kind of like push him out the way, and then he quit like mowing altogether. We got this new guy, and he's just like, oh, and they're just driving around and there's like grass and shit. Whatever.
Oh yeah. You've been to Iceland and Scotland for stone lifting.
Yeah, no. So, Scotland, the first time we went was for. Did we go to Scotland the first time for Denny Day or just Stones? That's right. So the first time we went to Scotland was just a stone tour for us. Then we went to Denny Day. Then we went back for Denny Day. Then we went for the Rogue Invitational twice. And then for Iceland, we planned that trip for 2 years. And then we were going to get married anyway. Oh, we've been to Norway too. Norway's gorgeous. So
Yeah,
anyway, so for Iceland, like we were planning that trip for 2 years. Like I was like, I'm gonna pick up the Useful, but then we wanted to get married and then vacation time and this, that, and the other. So like I kind of asked because we were originally gonna get married in Glacier. I already had a photographer picked out, everything, and then I kind of just asked Thomas. I was like, "Do you just want to get married in Iceland?" And he's like, "Yeah," because like it made no sense to like go to Glacier, get married, and then not really have a honeymoon and have to go up there really quickly and come back with vacation days. So I messaged my photographer and I was like, hey, like, do you want to go to Iceland? And she's like, yes. And I was like, okay. So she came to Iceland. We did our wedding on Tuesday and then picked up the Useful on Wednesday.
nice.
Yeah. So it was really cool.
So when you went to the like when you were planning to lift the Husafell stone, like
Mm.
did you know that like you were going to get it?
No,
Hell yeah.
no. Like, because there, you don't have a stone, like you have like I have a metal Useful,
Hmm.
but it's not anywhere near the same thickness, size, texture. Like I did a lot of research and watching a lot of my friends that are of similar like size to me, but obviously dudes
Hmm.
and obviously stronger. And Leifa went and picked it up. She didn't really carry it. Sonny picked it up. She didn't carry it. Um, but like I just trained the motions for it. Like I basically just broke it up in pieces. So I did a bunch of elevated useful stone carries, at 410 pounds for 120 feet. Then I did Zerchers from pins about the same height that I would be in the lap, but it wasn't like a Zercher where the bar was resting in my arms. I kind of went below the bar and just rode in the pads, the safety bar, and just squoze in the pads to mimic me squeezing the stone into me so it wasn't resting in my arms. And I got up to like 465 for like a double, I think it was. So like I broke up the movement in two different parts, but I never once trained because I was never going to pick up the stone like how the guys do it, like just picking it up. I think I could have picked it up, but I think I'd have expended so much energy doing it that way, then that would have taken away from the actual carrying of the lap. So I always had planned to flip it, which I don't have a stone like that to practice the flip at home.
Yeah.
So no, I mean, strength wise, theoretically, I should have been strong enough to do it, but until you're there, you don't know. I mean, like in my head, I kept telling myself, yes, I'm going to do it. Yes, I'm going to do it. But you had that inner thought of like, I don't know if I'm actually going to do it. But I'm very much one of those people that if you keep telling yourself like it's not going to happen, then it's not going to happen. So like I'd always like when I talk about like, you know, if I carry this useful stone, I started just telling people like when I carry it, just so like that kind of reiterated that.
Yeah.
But like when I got there, like the first time I flipped it up in my lap, I was like, I don't know if this is going to go. I flipped it up in my lap. I took like 3 steps, got really off balance, threw it down to the ground, and I was just like, shit. And then looked at it some more, played around with it some more, got it back in my lap, carried it probably 30 feet, and lost it. And I was like, all right. So I got Luke, because Luke Stoltman was there with me with Mel and Thomas, obviously. And I got Luke to pick it up, bring it back to where I was. Because I wanted it to be like, for sure that I carried a lap, so I wanted the stone in front of the sheep pen.
Right.
And then, because the way the sheep pen is it's not flat, obviously, it's round. It's very unstable. I kind of walked around, kicked off all like the little stones and pebbles to try to make it like where I wouldn't roll my ankle. But if you kind of like go in front, you either have the option of going uphill and then flat and then downhill, or you can go downhill then up. And I wanted to go uphill first and come downhill second when I was tired. So the third time, like I was like, okay, like this is probably going to be all I have. So flipped it in my lap. You can tell in the video I'm really annoyed with like how it's sitting in my lap because I couldn't get my hands where I wanted it. And I didn't want to try to fight it and try to rotate it, which I think I could have rotated it, but when you're in the moment, you don't like think about those things. And I was real aggravated and I was trying to just stick to it. And I was just like, I went to pick it up and my hand slid. And that's when I kind of just got my left hand and just hooked it on the bottom. And I just was like, okay, this is it. We're going. And I just took off and then made it up across. And then when I was coming back down, I was going extremely too fast. And I thought I was going to eat shit and die. And then I made it down and around the corner. And then that's whenever like it really got hard. And I was like, I have to just get to the corner, and I've done it. And then I start just like slowing down, and everyone's yelling, and I just keep going and keep going. And I finally like, because like it's 110 feet, but I wanted to make sure I got beyond that. So like I knew where I picked it up, and I could see where I picked it up. Like I just have to get beyond that, because like I didn't want people to be like, oh, it wasn't quite a lap. Like I want it to be definite. And then as soon as I got there, I mean, it wasn't like I got my lap and then I was like, oh, I'm done. It's like, no, this is all I have. Like, it completely drained everything out of me. There was no more carrying. And, like, I was beat up for, like, 3 days. Like, my abs were so sore. My legs were trashed. Like, my biceps were just on fire. Like, it was awful. Like, 10 out of 10, like, I don't really ever care to do it again. Like, some people are like, oh, you should have carried it 2 laps. And I'm like, no, dude, like, that's all I had.
Yeah.
Like if I could have carried it too, I would have, but no.
I've kind of heard that from other people that like who have done it, like they've either lapped it or they got to their chest or they got some steps in, and they're like, that's plenty. I knew I could do that, and that's good. And then they don't care to come back a couple
Yeah.
years later and try it again. They're like, I nailed that as good as I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
it's a brutal stone.
it's very slick and it's very
Hmm.
thin. Like you think it's thicker and it's not. Like
It's nothing like the metal.
it's probably like that thick. Like it's not thick at all and it's very
Yeah.
slick. I mean, super slick. Way slicker than I thought it would be. And just, like some people are like, "Oh, I want to go back in a couple years and carry it again." No, I'm good. Like I did it once and there was I prepped for 12 weeks for that thing just for one stone. Like I didn't really train for any other stones. We had a really bad trip with our freaking camper van. We didn't get to do a lot of the stones we planned to. We had to cut our trip short because the van was a piece of shit. So like it was a bad trip on that end of things. We went to the Dritfix. It rained the entire time. It was just misting. The Dritfix is like glass. I did get it to my lap twice. I could not stand up with it. I was wet. The stone was wet. I was trying to cover it with a rain jacket. It just, I couldn't pick it up. Like, I think 100% if it had been dry and good weather like it was for the Useful, I'm pretty sure I could have stood up with it. But it just, it was like that weird, like misty fog type weather, and
Yeah.
everything was wet. Like, and people that we've know that are like, dude, no, if it's even super humid, you're not going to pick that stone up. So I mean, I was pumped. I got it to my lap twice, but I was very frustrated because the thing is you can spend all this time training for these stones, and then you get there and the weather is just not in your favor, and there's nothing you can do about it because, and same thing with Scotland. Like you can train and be ready for it, and you get there in between, your travel and your sleep and your food and your hydration and all these things. Like you can do everything right, and it rains and then you're done. Because like we watched, because like I even researched like the best time to go to Iceland for stone lifting, and they said August was the least amount of rain, bearing it not being too cold, because I didn't want to go during winter because then it's ice and snow. And we watched the rain, and like we were watching it before we got there, and it was supposed to rain every day, and I'm like, and then the wedding was on Tuesday. It rained the whole day of the wedding besides our vows, and it was 45 degrees, just raining. And then Wednesday was dry, sunny. And I was like, I'll take a rainy wedding for a dry Husaful. So it was perfect. And then the weather after that was just misty and rainy and patchy. But I mean, if it would have been the same weather for the Husaful, there's no way I could have carried it. It's too slick. And that's the thing, like, you can do all the things and you get there and it rains, and it's like, oh, well, that's it. That's all she wrote.
What's the weight on the Dritvic stone?
It's over 3.
Yeah.
Like 336.
I think Thomas said 336 or so, something like that.
That's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and
Maybe
it's
more,
it's
350.
and it is a slick boy. It is a slick boy.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just that, and like me and Thomas get really aggravated. Like there was a lot of people there. You're trying to do your thing. They're stopping. Like one kid, I kind of had, because I have really bad hip mobility, so I kind of like dug out around the stone so I could get down and try to get the stone like my hips low. And I had it like standing with a rain jacket over it, and like some little kid like ran and like kicked the stone over. Like I was really annoyed. So it's just like you have to deal with all that, and then it's like they want to talk to you, and I'm annoyed because I'm trying to do my thing, but that's just me as a person. But it's just like I like the fact that like the Husaful, like no one was there, like no one. And then same thing with Scotland, like we've never lifted a stone besides the Menzies. They'll watch from inside the castle, but they don't bother you. And the Inver, but they don't really bother you. They'll just kind of watch from inside the building. But it's just like the people that know about the stone lifting know how to watch and not get in your way, versus people that don't know about stone lifting try to get in your business and bother you.
Yeah.
Like, it's just different. It's a different culture. Like, the people that are... And that's the other thing. Like, when we were in Scotland, we were at this little bitty pub, and we were eating lunch. And it was before Denny Day. And they were like, oh, why are y'all here? And we're like, oh, we're going to Denny Day. And they're like, are you going to lift the Denny's? And Thomas was like, yeah, and so was she. And then the woman was like, oh, my God, you're going to lift the Denny's? And, like, went back in there and, like, got the chef out and, like, all the kitchen staff. Because, like, they respect all that stuff over there, and they know what you're talking about. And, like, they sat and talked to us for a couple minutes. We're like, oh, my God, like, you really think you can pick them up? And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I can. And they're like, oh my gosh.
I'm pretty sure.
Like, yeah. Well, I mean, I was more sure about the Denny's than I was about the Husaful. Because, like, you have the training pins. It's just, even though the training pins are not the stones, it's still, it's more, it's closer to it than the Husaful.
I mean, and they're making like on the pins, like the rings, like the exact like diameter and like the circumference of them, even like the weird like bend in it, you know? Like,
Yeah. And I would say this, like, to me, the Denny's were easier to pick than on the Denny rings, the trainers. And then also I've lifted the Denny replicas at Rogue versus the actual Denny's, and to me, the actual Denny's are easier to pick than the replicas.
Interesting.
They don't move the same.
They don't move the same at all.
What number was your Denny lift?
247.
247.
247. It's incredible. We just have a list of everyone who's done it, and the list is not that big.
No, and the thing is like Matt Jones did it like a couple years ago, and it was like under 100, and then all of a sudden now it's just growing. It's in the threes, I think, now. But I mean, it's just, it's cool, and like, you know, because so Jan Todd obviously lifted them back in like the 70s, 70s, I think it was.
Yeah.
And she's obviously the first woman that picked them up, which what she did with straps, I mean, still doesn't matter. And then since then, I was the first woman from America to pick them up since Jan. And I did mine without straps, so there's only three of us that have picked them up without straps, I think.
You, the girl from Finland, and Nancy.
Yeah, this girl from Finland, I don't remember her name. She's got the record. She held them like 11.
Yeah.
I held mine like almost 6. And then I'm not sure what Nancy held hers. The thing is like, I think I could have went for the record the first time, but what happened is like, everyone gets so excited that you're there to pick them up, and I was going to go first time, no straps. And, you know, Brett and all of them were like, oh, you traveled all this way, you don't want to not get them, you need to do them with straps, blah, 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 blah. And you just get caught up in it, you're like, yeah, okay, you're totally right, I just spent all this money to fly all this way, and like, I don't want to like screw this up. And as soon as I picked them up with straps, I was like, damn it, like I should have just just went straight for it. So then I, you know, got it and I picked them up, but it's the wildest thing, like your thumbs, you feel like they lengthen 2 inches, because you hook grip them and you just barely hook it, but whenever you start picking, because the front stone or the back stone comes up like super quick, but it's that first stone, that right thumb, just it keeps pulling and pulling and pulling, and then you're like, my thumb's ripping off, and then all of a sudden that stone just picks up, and you can feel it just kind of sway, and you know it's up. But you just have to keep pulling, like, and it hurts. It does not feel good at all.
What's the process these days to lift the Denny's? Because isn't it like
you have to make an appointment?
You can't just show up anymore. It's not the 70s.
No, so like Stevie Shanks is kind of like the holder of the stones, him and Brett Nichols. Because Brett's picked them up over 500 times. Yeah, I mean, dude, when you watch Brett pick them up, you're like, that's not hard. And then you go to pick them up, because he has learned this like Rockton style, and he just goes, they're easy. You just boop, and I mean, it just. But so you have to make an appointment with them. I did mine on the trailer at Denny Day, but I reached out to them because, like, for the Jan Todd games, you have to pick up the stones. For the men, you have to pick them up the year prior, and then you can compete in the Donald Denny games the next year. But for the women, since it's a smaller like class, as long as you pick them up the same day, they'll let you compete. Because whenever we were going over there, I was going to pick them up and not compete because that wasn't allowed the same day. But then they're like, hey, like, would you be interested in doing this? And I'm like, well, yeah. So we went there twice. We didn't get to go last year, but we might be able to go this year. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And it's fun. Like, the crowd's awesome. Like, and it's a bunch of older people, and they love it. They get super into it. They get pumped. Like, and they're just, it's such a small, like, unique gathering, but it's one of my favorite places to go.
What's the like your favorite stone you've lifted, of like the historic stones?
I mean, I like the Fiona, but I think it's going to have to be the Husaful, just because of like no one's done it. And then
Yeah.
also, like, the old tale is Snorri. She carried it, and she was a farmer's daughter. I'm also a farmer's daughter.
Hmm.
So, like, I just think, like, the history kind of tied into that, and we're both kind of share that same background, and that no one else has done it. Like, I think, like, out of all the things I've done strength related, I think that was the one thing that I felt the most rewarded, accomplished, and satisfied that I completed it.
What do you think of like the legend of the stone? Like, did she lift it and carry it, or is that just legend?
Man, Icelandics are huge. And they're strong people. Like, I will say this, I think it's possible, not just because, women are doing it now and we're into strength training now, but like, you have to realize, like, those people back in those days did manual labor all day long, every day. So, like, you had to be strong to do that. And yeah, I mean, strong to live there and just survive. I definitely think it's plausible. I don't know if it actually happened, but I think it's definitely plausible for sure.
What year did they say that it
It was
happened?
the 1800s,
1700s.
1700s,
Yeah.
something like that. But I mean, and then also, like, like, she was pissed off that she wasn't, getting paid like her brother. So, like, if you piss me off enough, I'm going to do some strong shit and make you show. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say it didn't happen, but, and
Sure.
it's funny because, like, when I, like, put my video out that I was the first female to carry it, like, a lot of people got upset that, like, I didn't
Give her credit.
give her credit, but I kind of did. Like, if you read my post, like, I was like,
Well, you
I
gave,
referenced my
yeah,
granddaughter,
yeah,
but a lot of people were like, she's not the first one to carry it. And I'm like, I mean, in documented history, which what I was referencing to,
yeah.
I am, but like, a lot of people got upset about that. I mean, I wouldn't say like a lot of people, but there were some people that were like, she's not the first.
Period.
And I was just like, but I'm the first proven, I'm the first documented. Like, I don't know. Some people just get so like caught up like a devil in the details, and I'm like, just it's not that serious. First off, but okay, like,
Right.
like, anybody that understands what I'm talking about understands, like, documented footage, like, because back, and it's funny because, like, back in the day, that's how you picked that stone up, was flipping it, because, like, Lefa was the first one to have recorded footage of flipping it how the old style used to, because they didn't start picking it up the way they do now until like modern day strongman, because they were strong enough just to pick it up that way. Because, like, if you flip it, I mean, you can ask Thomas, it is significantly easier to flip it up, and it saves you a whole bunch of gas
Yeah,
in
I
the
picked
tank.
it up both ways, and
Yeah, because Thomas did it both ways, and he said it's significantly easier to flip it.
you're not tired.
You're not tired. You just flip it up and go.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Still heavy.
Still heavy, but
Still heavy.
yeah. But it's just, so she was the first one. Like, her and Sonny were the first ones that were like documented to pick it up. And then, Nancy went over there and she carried it for however many feet she did. And then I went over there and like carried it roughly probably maybe 115, 120 feet, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Distance,
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. What's it like competing at like the Arnold and like the Rogue Invitational? Because that's like a bigger stage than women strongman has been on before. Like,
Yeah,
that's a pretty new thing.
Yeah. So Invitational's 2 years now. The Arnold Pro was ran by Strongman Corp until 3 years ago, I think it was,
Yeah.
and Rogue took it over, and it is indescribable. It's really freaking cool.
Yeah.
You're paid to fly out there. You're paid hotel. You're paid first through 10th place, and you actually feel like you like have like made it. Like, all the effort you've put into it, all the blood, sweat, and tears you've put into it, you finally feel like it was for something.
Yeah.
It's indescribable. Huh?
You're treated like.
Yeah, you're actually treated like a pro for once. But it's indescribable. Like, in front of all the people, the Arnold crowd, I think, is like 3,000 people. I think it is. At the Rogue Invitational, I think the PJ Live is like 8,000 people, which it's just, the implements are really really cool. Like the stuff that they put in, like all the work that Jerry put in this year, the Invitational
Mm-hmm.
for the Bonds Mag Cannon, for the Viking Press, like it's just bar none equipment that you don't get anywhere else. Everything is on a time schedule. They've run on time. They let you know if you're behind time. Like you have ushers in the back that are making you sure you're on time, and like the staff, bar none. Like they make sure they know what time you're going on. They come find you. They usher you to where you need to be. Like you don't have to focus on nothing else besides just like warming up, getting ready, and they're like coming and shuttling you everywhere, pushing you everywhere. Like it's fantastic. As far as like the check-in experience, all the video before, like this year we had mini golf as like our athlete check-in, and you get all your vendor packages at the Invitational, which is like the coolest part. You get all this free stuff, and it's
Yeah.
awesome stuff. It's not just like cheap stuff. And we were playing mini golf, and I'm super competitive, and I was there in the first block. CrossFitters went the day prior, and I didn't know what the score was. So it's like me and like three other people playing because I had the earliest block of the day. And there was like a guy with me like doing my scorecard, and he's like, a lot of people are getting caught up on this one that you get 8 times. If you can't make it, then you just have to go to the next one. Well, I made a hole in one on that one, and he was like, man, you're setting yourself up for a good score. And I was like, well, what's a good score? And he was like, well, yesterday like 17 was first place. And I was like, what am I at? And he told me, and he's like, if you do, you can do that. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah. So super competitive comes in and stuff. And then I go through and I tie at 17, but I had more hole-in-ones. So like I won the whole mini golf over all of strongman, strongwoman, CrossFitters, everybody, and I got a trophy. So like
Hell
I
yeah.
was pumped about that. But just like the whole athlete experience, and then just like the crowd and the fans, they're awesome. Like they come and they want to take pictures with you and like sign stuff and talk to you. And like I had people there that specifically like told me they came back specifically just to watch me. They wanted to make sure, like I had people that reached out to me on Instagram that were like, hey, I'm going to be at the meet and greet at this time, or you at this time slot. And I'm like, yeah, I'll be there. And like, well, I came back just to watch you, and I want to get a picture with you again. And it's also really weird because I can't remember names for nothing, but faces I'm pretty good at.
Mm-hmm.
And like I remember people specifically from last year that were there this year. Like, you probably don't remember me. I'm like, no, I definitely remember you. You talked to me about whatever it was about, and they're like, how'd you remember that? And I'm like, I don't know. But they're really cool. And then just like the whole experience, like it's nothing I've ever experienced like that before, and it's just awesome. Like I just make sure I soak it all in because like it's not going to be forever, and it's some of the coolest memories I've had probably I've had more success as an individual athlete than I've ever been on a team. So it's something really cool that I can always cherish and soak in and remember and look back on whenever I'm not doing this anymore, and just have really cool, fond memories.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they do a great job, like live streaming it and doing a good live stream, to where my two girls love to watch Strongman because Rogue does a good job.
Yeah, Rogue crushes it.
Yeah. And so like I told them, like I used to say like the Arnold, because I don't like watch other sports. Like the sports I watch recreationally is strongman. And so like I would tell my kids that that the Arnold is my Super Bowl. Like that's what I'm gonna sit down this weekend and we're watching it. We're all gonna put it on the TV, and they're like, let's go.
Yeah. No, they do such a really good job as far as like production live stream. Like it's awesome. Like it's just. And then the staff behind stage, you have because the first time I got to the Arnold, we had people that like loaded our weights for us on deadlift, and I've never had that treatment before. So like I'm used to loading my own stuff at home, so like I know how long it takes me to get to my top set. Well, I'm not thinking about people are loading for me, so like I warmed up way too early, and I was like, oh crap, this is weird. Like I'm not used to like having people like do all my stuff for me. So it's really cool, and it's rewarding, and you just feel like appreciated, and you feel like a pro athlete, like
Athlete, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and all the stuff they give you, and just like how they talk to you, and they're so appreciative that you're there, and it's indescribable.
Yeah.
Like every year I'm there, like I never just like, I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm back here again, whatever. I'm always just like, yes, like I'm back at the Arnold again. Like it's gonna be so much fun.
At what point did you pick up Highland Games? Side
At
questing onto that.
2019.
2019.
Thomas did his first. I was gonna do it with him, but then I couldn't do it because I made a prior engagement back home in Louisiana. Because I'm one of those people that if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. So I had to go do this like seminar thing with some CrossFitters, which I much rather would have done Highland Games, but I already told these people that I would go do it, so I had to go do it. And then he showed me his videos, and I was like, yeah, I definitely want to do that. And then I was up here, and they had,
Highlands and Islands in Mississippi.
oh yeah, I did the Highlands and Islands, Mississippi, but I had like, was that when I came back from a torn hamstring?
Yeah, torn hamstring. So you didn't do caber and you didn't
Yeah.
do
So
sheaf.
I was coming back from a torn hamstring, and I didn't do caber or sheaf, and I still won. And then I did a contest here,
Rocket City Classic.
the Rocket City Classic, and they had like the day before you could go and like try it out or whatever. So I like you could go and seminar, and they were like, I signed up for like B class or whatever it was, and they were like, no, you need to throw in A's, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I threw in A's and I won, and that was with like Adrian and Emily and Mandy and whoever. Yeah, that weekend I went for the world record on WOB, but I couldn't get it over. So anyway, so I just started doing that, and it was something fun. Like, did that across 2020 when strongman really wasn't doing anything, and then it's something like that's really fun and competitive, but it's also doesn't like crush your soul, which is nice. So like, it's something that I can do that I don't have to like really like strain my body for, and like, you know, it doesn't really hurt my knees. It doesn't really crush me for the next day at work. Like I can, you know, drive 4 hours, go throw in a game, get in late, go to work the next day, and don't feel like I got ran over by a bus.
Yeah.
And it's just fun. Like it's relaxing. It's just different because like in strongman, I get really amped up and I have to try really, really, really hard because stuff is really, really, really heavy. And this is not heavy, but it's major technique. And I
Yeah.
have to learn really hard not to try to muscle things.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, when I was at the World Championships like 2 years ago in Alaska, I had one of my college friends, she lives there now, she came and watched, and she was like, are you the only strong person out here? And I was like, and that means not, that means strong man, that doesn't mean strong as in weak or strong.
Sure.
And I was like, yeah. And she goes, I can tell. She goes, you throw really ugly compared to them. And I'm like, yeah, I know. She's
Yeah.
like, but you're good. And I'm like, because I'm strong. That's that, and I'm athletic. Like, because like their technique, yes, they throw like Adrian throws so pretty, and technique is so pretty. Christine throws like her two spin on weight for distance is just textbook.
Oh, absolute stud in the weights.
Yeah,
Christine
dude,
is.
crushes it. And it's like the only reason I can keep up is just because I weigh so much and I'm just strong, and I'm somewhat like I'm athletic and I do a one turn. If I could ever learn how to two turn, I could throw the hell out of it, but I can't figure it out. Also because I don't train it.
It takes a lot of time to train that into you. And
Yeah, and also like I can't like I think for Worlds, I think I threw 3 times before I go to Josh's contest. I throw once, like because I just don't have time to do both this and strongman stuff. So like my goal is eventually like when I'm done with strongman, I can actually like train Highlands and like get better technique. Because right now I'm just like, I'll just show up, and if I don't do well, I don't do well. It's still fun.
yeah, it is fun. What do you think of Alaska?
Beautiful. I wish I'd have been there a lot more than what I was. Hands down. I forget her name. Is it Jenny?
Jenny.
Yeah,
Jenny.
Jenny crushed it.
Fucking stud AD, dude. She's the best.
100%, hands down. I felt like a pro athlete. I felt like I was taken care of. I felt wanted. I felt appreciated. Great person, fantastic AD, great personality. A ton of respect for her and what she does up there. That's probably one of my best memories of Highland Games is that show right there. It was great. Me and Christine tied for third, but she beat me on caper, so I got fourth. just because I've never had a bigger caper before, and her technique
Yeah.
won. But I mean, that's the thing. Like their technique is just gorgeous. I'm just out there just manhandling things.
Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah. I went to Alaska in 23 and I had the same experience.
Oh yeah,
Jenny was the best. I felt like a pro athlete.
yeah,
I went there as a lightweight. They had a lightweight elite class.
yeah,
Because they'll do like pros or like women's world championships or whatever, like, and they'll rotate championships every year. But as the first year they ever had a lightweight class, and we all just felt like we were one of the pros.
oh yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. Like she takes care of you. Like you got paid. You had a car. Your
You got
hotel was
paid, you
paid
got
for.
fed, you got traveled. It was
Yeah.
great.
Like I mean, and that's the thing. Like honestly, like the thing is like you have a lot of people that are like demanding all these things, and honestly, if I could just get free travel and free hotel and the opportunity to win a little bit of cash, I'm good. Like that makes it worth my time because like I don't want to be out an airfare and out a hotel and out all this cash. It's like if I can just be green or have the opportunity to be green, like I'm good. Like if I can make enough money to pay for Thomas's airfare, I'm pumped. Like,
Yeah.
like I'm not demanding buku millions of dollars and all these fancy things. It's like I just need the bare bones. It's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, that's what's nice about the games. Like, it's enjoyable enough that like you're willing to like lose some money on this excursion to go do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, in Alaska is just beautiful. Like the background, the scenery is just like. I just looked at Thomas. I'm like, God, I really wish we were here longer. But
How long did you stay?
not long enough. I think
5 days.
5 days. I think we didn't have enough vacation time.
Yeah.
With me trying
I,
to go all over the world with Arnold and Scotland and stuff. I was like, we can swing 5 days, but that's it. And I just wish we would have been there for 10. We want to go back because Thomas has friends up there. So we want to go back.
yeah. Yeah. I fully intend to make it back up there soon because it's the best.
Yeah.
What else was there? Oh, you got a home gym. I
Yeah.
have a home gym. We like home gyms on this show. What's your favorite piece of equipment you have?
Probably my new piece of equipment I just bought that I haven't got yet.
Okay. What's that?
I bought Rogue's big functional, like, trainer rack thing with a 300-pound weight stack in it.
Okay.
So it's the huge squat rack cage. Then it's got the arms on the front that I can push out of a rack, and it's got the lat pull down seated row combo with a 300-pound weight stack, and all the cables for like cable flies and all the other stuff. And it's the cables that like you don't have to move the pins around. So like I can go straight from like a 250-pound lat pull down, and then just move the one weight pin to like 25 and go to like face pulls, and you don't have to rearrange the pulleys.
Oh yeah, because it does it. Yeah, that's pretty slick.
Yeah, so I got the rack that's like 90 inches tall, 100 inches deep, or maybe it's 90 inches deep, 100 tall, whatever. The biggest one you can get, and then
That's
I'll have-
massive.
yeah, it's huge. But I can get rid of my squat rack, I can get rid of my half rack, and I can get rid of my lat pull down seated row combo. I can sell all that, put that money towards this, and then also free up all that space for this one thing.
So that was going to be my next question is like, what is this solving? Like, what's it replacing? And
Yeah,
all
so,
those.
yeah, like free things I can sell, make cash for, put it towards that, and then also free up space either for just space or for more equipment. And then also at work we get a kickback for like fitness stuff. So you can get up to $1,000 back. So it's 50%. So you have to spend $2,000 to get $1,000 back. So with me and Thomas both working there, that's $2,000 that we get to put towards this rack. So
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just like we'll spend money every year. Like last year, we bought a belt squat. Yeah, we bought a belt squat, and then we're
From
selling
Rogue?
our other belt squat. Yeah, we got the Rogue one.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just like that's probably gonna be my favorite thing, just because like I haven't had cables in 6 years, so I'm really pumped about that. And then also, I mean, if I had to go like piece of strongman equipment, I really like my Rogue circus dumbbell. It's gorgeous and it's perfect. It just really
Nice.
sucks putting weight in and out of it. So I just keep it at like 150. But I love it.
How big of a space is your gym?
1,000 square feet.
Probably 1,000 square feet or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
There's
nice.
a lot of stuff packed in there. I mean,
I've seen the videos.
yeah, I mean, I have enough room to like, I move some things away for like my dumbbell area in front of my rack. And then I have my deadlift platform. And then I do all my stuff outside, my yoke and stuff on my front porch.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like I keep trying to acquire new equipment, so at some point I will just have to get a bigger space because you
Yeah.
just can't have it. And I refuse to sell equipment. I'm just going to hold on to it
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're talking about making a bigger gym out in the front yard, making a new building. Because like we want more stuff. We want a hip abductor machine. We want.
Yeah.
I need more dumbbells. We need more plates. What else do we want?
Probably some hammer strength equipment.
Yeah, hammer strength. We like their equipment.
So yeah, so I like having a small home gym. Like all the solutions out there are squat racks with all the bits and bobs attached to it, and aesthetically, I don't like it. I rather have like dedicated machines for
Yeah.
everything. It's totally unreasonable, but
Yes.
like what I want is a row of hammer strength machines. Like that's
Yes.
what I want because they're cool.
Yeah. No, hammer strength is like that's my favorite. That's my favorite. I love hammer strength equipment. The old Bodymaster equipment's really fantastic. But I mean, and I like Rogue stuff. Rogue stuff's really nicely made.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's very nicely made. I mean, yeah, I get to sell like my half rack. I have a lot of this. I have a lot of attachments that are going to go with it. I mean, yeah, just trying to make more space because there's just more stuff we want.
Yeah.
But I like now I don't mind going to a gym every now and then just to like have equipment that I don't get to mess on. But like I think like we really want like a hack squat. We'll have a hack squat one day. But like it's really cool just to go to gyms every now and then just to play on equipment that you don't have just because it's different. Like when I go
Yeah.
home, there's a gym that we go to like Louisiana home. There's a gym we go to and they have some equipment that we like mess around on just because you don't get to. But as far as like, I don't miss commercial gyms because I don't like sharing stuff. I don't like waiting on people to get out of the way. I don't like people staring. I don't like how people like get in your way. Like I just don't like all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
haven't been.
get conditioned not to being around it. So then whenever you have like I got there, I was like, all right, I'm gonna use the hack squat. After the hack squat, I'm gonna go to leg press. Then I got and I get there and there's like a dude on the hack squat, and I'm like, gotta wait because like I'm not working in with him because he's only squatting one plate, and I'm not doing it. So
Yeah,
I was
I'm not
like,
pulling
wait.
all those off.
No, so I'm just like not doing it. So I'm sitting there just like talking to Thomas, just like waiting, and then like he finally gets off. So then I go do it. Well, then I do it with 5 plates, and I can see everyone staring at me through the mirror, and I'm like, okay. So then I was like finally done with that. Then I went to leg press. There's a dude on leg press with like 2 plates, and he stayed on there playing on his phone. And I sat there and was just like talking with Thomas, and I was just like, I'm not going over there because I'm not pulling off all the plates. So I was about to go over there and be like, hey, how many more sets do you have? Then he finally got off. And then like I just threw a bunch of plates on and then just went straight to my thing. So it's just like, I don't know. It's just you get so used to not doing that kind of stuff, and then when you have to go back to doing it, it's just like aggravating.
Yeah, I haven't been in a commercial gym in like 6 years, 5 or 6 years. No, 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
Either way, I got to go to a gym tomorrow. Commercial. I got to go to a Crunch Fitness tomorrow for some coaching stuff. And I don't know how I'm supposed to act in there anymore.
Yeah, like Thomas has a buddy that lives like an hour away, and every now and then we'll go train with him. But that gym's got some cool stuff, and we go in the middle of the day, so it's not really packed and stuff, and like it's fine. And then there's a gym back home in Louisiana. It's called Reds. It's in Lafayette, and I want to bring Thomas to it because it's massive. Like, it's got all the old school bodybuilding equipment, like multiple floors, like, and nothing is organized by like category. So
Yeah.
like you're like, I'm gonna do legs. You're gonna walk around and feel like, okay, I'm gonna use that machine, this one, and that one. And then like on your way out, you like see this other one. You're like, oh, nope, got to do this one, you know. And I really want to bring him to Reds because it's just it's heaven on earth. I mean, it's now granted, like I wouldn't want to work out there all the time because there's a lot of people there, but like it's got some really cool stuff, like
Yeah.
old school Body Master, old school. What's that one that starts with? Is it? What's the other old school one? I can't. Not Nautilus.
Yeah, it's like Nautilus.
I don't know, but
It's Nautilus.
yeah, it must be Nautilus. But I mean, it's just like some of the old ones that are like direct cable attachments, so it feels super heavy. Like
Yeah.
just really old school stuff that they've just like kept up with and like revamped. But I mean, and I haven't been to that gym in probably like 8 years.
Mm.
But I mean, I want to go back. And then he's got some buddies in Longview. What's that gym called?
Iron Asylum.
Iron Asylum.
He owns
It's a
it.
good name for a gym.
Yeah,
He's got
You can't beat it.
electric.
yeah. But it's just like it's just that kind of stuff. Like I rather go to like I like the underground type, old school bodybuilder type gyms versus like the new like.
Yeah.
But I mean, we don't go. But
Yeah.
it's really, like, and then we went to Gators gym in Texas,
In Austin, yeah, it's cool.
and it was cool. It was just like there was too many like wannabe influencers in there. They had some really cool equipment, but you just had like, you know, the Bumstead Gymshark type crowd, and then you had
Same suit.
the Sam Suet boys, and then you had the Insta girls that are, you know,
Tripods.
in the tripods. It's just, I don't know.
the Sam Sulik boys.
Yeah.
Their hat.
Hell yeah.
Shirt.
Well, it's funny because like talking about Sam Suet, my friend here, Courtney, she's got a 14-year-old boy. He's about to turn 15, and with my curly hair, like he always calls me Sam Sulik. That's like he thinks he's funny.
Oh, you put a hat on.
Yeah,
I mean,
when I put my hat on, like that's exactly what he calls me. Cool, what's up, Sam Sulik? And I'm like, shut up.
shut the fuck
I'm like,
up.
how do you even know who Sam Sulik is? You're fat. Like, stop. And he's just, go on Instagram, Hannah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
But he's funny.
Yeah, that's cool. What else is on my list of things? What you got any big plans for next Highland Games season? Plan to go anywhere special or?
Is it the East Coast Championships in Decatur the weekend after March? I'm probably gonna be banged up, but whatever. I'm doing that.
Yeah.
It's the weekend after Arnold, so I'm gonna be like 250 on the hoof, probably banged up knees, whatever. I won't
Hell
be.
yeah.
I won't practice before it, so you'll really see how unathletic I'm gonna be.
But
I'll
you're gonna
just
be prime. You're gonna be primed and ready to go.
Well, that's the thing. Like because usually like I do Highlands like in off season strongman, so I'm not putting on that weight. So they usually see me at like 215, maybe 220, and I'm gonna be rolling in there like 250 on the hoof, and they're gonna be like, "Who is this?" Like, so that's gonna be interesting. I'm sure Adrian and them are like, "What have you been doing?" They're like, "I've just been drinking a lot of syrup
Chocolate milk.
and chocolate milk."
Chocolate milk. Hell yeah.
Yeah, so
I
I'm
mean,
not
that's a
trained
staple.
for that.
And then
Yeah,
got no fame.
and then we'll do No Fame again. Some dude asked me about a game in Texas, but I never got dates or anything, so I don't know if I'll get
Yeah.
into that.
No.
That's in January.
Yeah, I think we're gonna try to go to see Spencer in January possibly, and then I don't know. It's weird. Like I don't get a lot of invites, and I just whatever. Highlands is weird. I just kind of show up when I get an invite here and there, and just show up, and people are like, "Oh, I forgot you exist." So,
Yeah.
but I'm also just busy. Like people don't realize-
You're doing two sports. You're
Yeah.
doing one that's more real than the other. So.
Yeah, and I'm also just busy and I work a lot. Like people don't realize like I work 60 hours a week.
It's
Like
a
and I
lot.
don't have a lot of vacation time, so I have to be very specific with my vacation time. And like also like I'm not going to spend, you know, over $1,000 in airfare than 500 plus in hotel to possibly win $100. Like I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's one thing if it's a really cool place or, like, what's the games up north with the really cool lobster trophies?
Yeah.
Like
The main games.
I would pay money to go just win that trophy
The main games.
because it's a cool trophy.
Yeah.
Like, and I have friends. Like, I bet Sam would go to that show. I want to get Sam involved. Sam and Max, Bellevue and Boudreaux,
Yeah.
because they're both very athletic and they're very explosive.
She's interested.
And like she's interested, so I want to try to get her to a game. Oh, maybe we can ask them to go to No Fame.
Yeah.
I have to ask Josh. But I just think it'd be cool. Like I think they'd be really good at it. And Maxime's really good at like bag for height. I think he could transfer for Wob. And then like he's fairly athletic. I think it'd be just really be cool for them to transition into too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Push them on that.
Yeah, I plan on it. I'll message Josh tomorrow. Be like, yo. But I mean, it's
Yeah.
just, that's the thing.
Josh is going to tell you, yes, do that. Reach out to them probably
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, but they're
Give them my number.
and they're fun. Like they're fun people and they're hilarious.
Mhm.
And, like they're fun to be around and like I think it'd be fun for them to get into. But she's getting into arm wrestling right now. I think I'm gonna try to get into arm wrestling after Arnold, and then we might be able to link up. I told her I was like, me and you should arm wrestle each other at the Shaw in August, and she's like, let's do it. So
See, I never can get behind arm wrestling. It beats me up. My tendons feel like
Yeah.
they're going to just pop off the bone, and
Yeah.
it'll fuck me up like for weeks after.
Yeah.
Like I can't squeeze anymore.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's just
Not
like
for me.
there's these little group of people. I mean, I don't mean little. It's a small group of people, not
Mhm.
little people, and they do arm wrestling, and they
Good save
invited
there.
us probably 6 months ago, and Thomas, of course, just crushed because he's huge and he has really big,
Yeah.
funky hands. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't know what he's doing, but I was doing fine. But they were like, "You've got to do this," and I was like, "Okay, well, I can't do this right now because if I blow my arm, like I'm done. So this will have to be a post strongman adventure." But they were like, you know, like I have really long forearms and I have
Mhm.
really big hands, so they were just like, "This would be really great for you, and you're already super strong." And I'm like, "Yeah, this is fun. I really want to do it, but I can't do this right now." And they're like, "Yeah," and then they tried to get me to go to some like contest like a couple weeks before the invitational, and I'm like, "No."
Not a
Like if I
chance.
go and snap my arm or like do something like that goes the whole thing. So, because like when we were training, like I told them I was like, "Do not like hurt me. Like I can't get hurt right now." So like we were just like linking up, and then just would start getting pressure. Then we would just go versus just like and like they were really cool about that because they were just showing me some things, and there's a lot more technique involved than you think.
Yeah.
But it's definitely fun and interesting. I think I could get behind, and there's also like decent money in arm wrestling too.
Yeah. It's weird, but yeah.
Yeah, so I think we'll try to get into that because I think he could do well in it just because he's got those big chunky hands, and then like he broke like his hand here, so it's calcified, so it's like got this real big knot,
He's
and
got
it's harder
that.
for those guys to like wrap around.
Okay. Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's just something else me and him will get into.
That's
Which-
cool.
Yeah, which I can train against him, but of course he can't train against me because he would just snap my arm in half. So it'd be really cool for me to train against him, but he's
I do like seeing people's like setups for arm wrestling, like on cable machines, and they're like they've got chains attached to the cable machines, and yeah, I like
yeah,
that.
so we'll probably get into that. We'll have to get a table, which tables aren't expensive, and we'll get all the attachments, and then you'll just see me doing other weird stuff. What's new, like I
Add it to
told
the
my mom,
resume.
yeah, like I told mom and dad, I'm like, yeah, we'll probably get in arm wrestling, and dad's just like, whatever, Hannah, like he gets so just like whatever.
Of course, you're doing something new.
Yeah, well, like I remember, like I told mom, like she was at the gym with me whenever I told her I was doing strongman, that I signed up for that Alabama show. And I'm like, Mom, I found something I'm gonna do, and she's like, oh Lord, what now, Hannah? And I was like, I'm doing strongman, and she's like, whatever, like she was so just like over me. And then I was like, no, seriously, I'm doing it. Like I signed up. Like it's in Alabama, y'all got to come. And Mom's just like, whatever, just don't get hurt. I'm like, yeah, that's probably gonna happen, but whatever. Like,
It's pretty likely it's going to happen.
probably gonna happen, and I've tore my hamstring 3 times. It's like it's okay.
Oh
I've
my
completely
gosh.
like my knees are completely trash. Like I have no cartilage in them. I've torn my hamstring 3 times. I've strained or slightly tore my bicep. I've torn my supraspinatus, I've torn either my teres major or my minor. I mean, it's just,
Where you at?
yeah, I tore my lat. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it
And
is.
you're still walking upright though, so that's good.
Yeah, I mean, you just, whatever. I mean, it's hard for me to get down on my knee, but whatever.
I mean, at some point, everyone, that's tough to do, you know.
Hmm. Yeah,
But
so it's fun.
well, we are coming up on time.
Okay.
Do you have any final thoughts or anything you want to let the world know?
No, just who knows what I'll get into next.
That's right. Like Carmen San Diego, but it's like, what obscure strength sport are you going to pick up next?
Yeah, pretty much. You never know.
Hell yeah. All right. Thank you for coming on. I
All right.
appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right. Bye.